Hey guys, Zeek here. In today's video, we're looking at how to build a 360-degree swivel articulating screen for the Canon EOS M. It's all rigged up, it works fantastic, and we're used to using monitors on top of the cameras, which is absolutely fine, but you know, I sort of don't want to build a sort of pile on the top. I want something on the side, something similar to the Canon C70 or the FS5, you know, with the side swivel screen that rotates 360 degrees. It's absolutely fantastic. It's worked flawlessly. I've tested it in the past, got some great shots with the Canon 11-22mm. And today I'm going to share the build, how to set it up, rig it out. We're going to look at the settings to use on the monitor, and we're also going to just take it out and grab some raw video on the Canon EOS M. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so here I am with the Canon EOS M, and it's rigged up so far. This is the Canon M50 cage. I think it cost, I don't know, 60 bucks or so. It's not made for the EOS M, but it fits fine. There's a few gaps here, but you know, you've got a little grip section over here that just makes the camera feel comfortable in your hands. You've got a slanted edge over here, which I love because the microphone on the side just looks like a cinema camera rather than being straight on the top. And you know, you've got a base plate here by SmallRig. This allows you to attach 15mm rods like so. And then with this, you can put follow focus gears if you have to. So the first thing you need is this monitor mount. It's by SmallRig, and you're supposed to attach it to a gimbal and help monitor whilst using a gimbal on the side of the arm. But I've instead attached it to the M50 cage. There are some quarter 20s over here. And so if you just attach it to the one on the left on the side, you can pretty much mount it just like that. And you can get the monitor up and close right to the body over here. Now, if you're trying to tighten this lock with your fingers, it's still going to move around. It's not going to be that strong. So what I suggest is using Allen key tools like this, and then just poking it through the hole or the gap, and then just locking it into place like that. And it's going to be very solid. It's not going to move about. There you go. Nice and solid, hard to move, and that's exactly what you want when you're using your monitors. So the monitor that I'm going to be using for this setup is the Filmmaking F6 Plus. It's a 5.5-inch monitor, and it's a bit weird they call it the F6 Plus. It should be 6-inch, but it's 5.5-inch. And the fantastic thing with this monitor, and also the Filmmaking F5, which is what I also use, is that on the side here, on the side of the monitor, you have a quarter 20 thread. So you can pretty much attach or connect these two together, and then you have a side monitor, which is fantastic. So let's attach that. And there you go. It's on the side. You can flip it 360 degrees around. And then once you're happy with where it is on the angle, you can just lock it into place. Now, the beauty about this monitor is that if you want to go for your low shots, it has that traditional flip out screen camera look, you know, with the monitor on the side. If you want to record yourself, then just flip it around the other way. Now with this monitor mount, you do have some 1/4-inch 20s on the top. So if you're someone who prefers to use shotgun microphones directly on top of your camera, then you can attach cold shoe or hot shoe adapters and then insert your microphone on top of the camera rather than having it pointing out on the sides. So this is why having a monitor on the side of the camera is a fantastic choice. And again, if you want to use this as a shoulder cam, you can use this little shoulder mount from NiceRig. I think SmallRig makes one of these too. And you have your 15mm rod inserts to which you can attach to the base plate and just have the camera on your shoulders. Good for E&G work, documentary stuff, and overall this setup just provides great opportunities for filmmaking out in the field. Now if you feel like this grip isn't enough, it's a bit too small, then you can get these side handles, side grips. This is an RE rosette mount grip. It's a bit expensive, a bit on the high side, I think it's like above 100 bucks, so you don't have to go for something like this, you can get something a bit cheaper. But with this you attach a 15mm rod insert, and you can put it right inside your base plate like that, and then lock it into place. And there you go. You have a nice, comfortable handle grip. It's a great camera rig, and we are going to put it to the test after we go through the settings. One more thing to mention is this, the HDMI cable. Now with this one, you have a straight sort of head. You can get the right angle adapters, and that's exactly what I prefer with this because, you know, once you plug this in, you're just going to have it sticking out. So having a right angled HDMI adapter is going to do the trick really nicely. And there you go. It's hanging about like that. So pull it out and just wrap it around something until you get a nice clean portable setup. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole articulating screen setup for the Canon EOS M. Let's go take a look at the settings I use with Magic Lantern RAW video and HDMI monitors. Alright, so the monitor is now powered on. This is the Filworld F6 Plus. I also use the Filworld F5, which is, in my opinion, probably better than this one here. It is 5-inch, so it's a tiny bit smaller, and I just like it for that size. So, hold the trash can button to enter the menu. And then in the presets, you can obviously select which presets you prefer for your shooting. So here are all the presets that you can shoot with. I've actually acquired a new monitor. It's the Portkeys, I think LH5P, but we'll get to that in another review. So the modes I like is 2.8K. I like the 2K mode, this one over here, 2K 1:1 FRTP. With this, what you see is what you get in the live view. So if I press set, press the menu button, you can see exactly what you see here is exactly what I'll expect in post. So if I just click record and then just stop the recording, I'll press the play button and you'll see that's exactly what I recorded, exactly what I saw in my live view, and that's exactly what I'm getting in post. And which is why I like to shoot in this mode. With the other modes like 2.5K, 2.8K, the cropped modes and the high resolution, you normally have a cropped live view, and when you're recording it, you're actually recording more than what you see in the live view, so it's not accurate, and which is why I really highly recommend this mode if you want something that's continuous and that has a good resolution and that reduces aliasing. So 2K 1:1 FRTP is a great mode. Now it does say 1920 by 818 when it's supposed to be 1920 by 1080, and that's because you can see down here I've set aspect ratio to 2.35:1. So if I adjust that to 16:9, you'll see that I get 1920 by 1080. Now Magic Lantern is fantastic because you have all your information in the live view. You can see 400 ISO, 1/50th of shutter, your aperture, your millimeters of your lens, and you can adjust them all, and all the information is there for you, which is absolutely fantastic. Hold the trash can again and we'll change the preset. HD 1080 is another good choice. What you see is what you get. You know, what it shows here in live view is exactly what you record in post, and it's not glitchy. It works fantastic. 5K anamorphic FRTP, press the menu, and we'll see what that one looks like. All right, and there you go. Again, this has about a 2x crop factor, so a bit more than what we get with the APS-C 1.6 times. But again, this mode works fantastic. If you need to double check your focus, some monitors are touchscreen, and you know, you can zoom in, zoom out, and just acquire focus that way. Now, another mode I've been using with monitors recently is the 2.8K 2800 by 1190. It's a fantastic mode I use without monitors, but when you shoot 2.8K with monitors, you get dropped frames, pink frames that appear because it's too much process to handle for the camera. So what you can do with this mode, and I've tested it out, I find that I get no dropped frames, is reducing the resolution to a 16:9 aspect ratio. So if I just scroll the wheel, you can see the aspect ratio is changing. This will be your initial aspect ratio in post. So keep rotating it until you get to 16:9. You can shoot 2:1, that's absolutely fine. But if you want 16:9, you're going to get a resolution of about, I don't know, what is that, around 2.2K. So 2160 by 1190. And you can record in this mode without dropped frames, and that's because your data rate is less than the typical what you get with 2.8K, which is around, 60 to 70 megabytes per second. So 54 should be good. You shouldn't experience any dropped frames here. If you do, then you need to just change to another mode when using monitors. If I want cinematic black bars, then I go to 2:1 aspect ratio 2432 by 1190. And we'll go ahead, record, we'll play back and see how it goes. So set your focus, record. And this isn't continuous, but you do get a good amount of record time. If you do happen to get dropped frames, then it's too much data for the camera to handle, and you might want to reduce your resolution or just change to a different mode like the 1080p HD mode or the 2K 1:1 FRTP. And we also have a 2.5K 1:1 centered HDMI mode, which has 0 dropped frames at 2.5K RAW. So here we are in 2.5K HDMI, and you can see immediately there is an issue here. There's no data or no information on the bottom half of the screen. So what we have to do is go over here to the crop marks, enable that, and you can see that you have these aspect ratios to play with. If you're shooting 2.35:1, then you would want to enable this crop mark overlay, which is 2.35:1. So if I go back, you'll see that it will create an overlay adjustment, just like that. Now, the reason why there's such a small screen and it doesn't occupy the whole screen is because this isn't cropped. With the other modes like 2.8K, 2.5K, you get a cropped live view, it zooms in more, but it's not exactly what you're recording. This is exactly what you're recording, but unfortunately we only get a smaller part of the screen to look at. But if you want something that's exactly what you're shooting, a good reference for recording your footage, then the 2.5K HDMI FRTP or for real-time preview is the mode to choose. What I'm seeing here is exactly what I'm getting. So there you go. This is the mode that you would choose for that sort of scenario. And there you go. That's it. HDMI recording with the Canon EOS M. It is a cold day outside right now. I'm hoping the weather will change, but let's go take this setup or this rig outside and put it to the test. Hey guys, I've arrived at the creek with the Canon EOS M, and I've also got my 5-inch HDMI monitor. This is the Filmmaking F5. I left the F6 Plus at home. It's 5-inch, and I've got a right-angled adapter here, just so I'm not stretching out the cable. And this is also a right-angled HDMI cable, which just fits perfectly on the Canon EOS M. So it's all rigged out, all ready to go to test it out. And it's a beautiful day, the sun's out. I can hear the beautiful creek down there. And I really want to put this camera to the test, shooting Magic Lantern RAW, 2.5K or so, with the Canon 11 to 22mm. So without further ado, let's get into the testing. Now I don't have a sun hood on this, but I can clearly see what I'm recording. The brightness is on full, and honestly, this monitor is good enough for the price. $100 off AliExpress, you can get them cheap off eBay and Amazon too. But I'm gonna go ahead and record some scenes, 2.5K RAW. I'll get one shot over here, just of a little landscape shot, and focus. Oh, this monitor is fantastic. Stabilization 11 to 22 is perfect. All right, might get some shots of these plants here. On the monitor, unfortunately, it doesn't show you the real live view or the correct framing, so you're just gonna have to get your subjects in frame from the live view or from the monitor. All right, so here's the monitor, the swivel screen, the right-angled adapter, which just helps with, adapting the cable to the EOS M without it stretching or breaking. And I'm just gonna go, before going down to the stream, I'm gonna get some test shots here because I like to get some extra shots before I get to the actual destination. It's always good to have some extra clips with you. And I'm going to start from the bottom here and then work my way to the top of this tree. Make sure I've got focus with this Filmmaking F5 monitor. Record, hit. All right, I can hear the stream. This is my favorite part of this place. It's just brilliant. Now this shot is amazing. You got a beautiful stream coming in. You got nice plants, green. They look fresh, but the sun is shining. It's glaring on my screen. It is a bit washed out, but that's what you expect with cheaper monitors. So having something like a sun hood will definitely come in handy. But I can still see my scene. I can acquire focus. And I'm going to record with a pan. It's a stabilized lens, so I don't have to worry too much about shaky footage. Alright, this shot is absolutely gorgeous, capturing some rocks here. The beauty about having a CPL filter is I can cut out the highlights. So if I didn't have the CPL filter, I would have to stop down my exposure and everything just gets dark. So removing the highlights with the CPL filter is fantastic. I also have a gap from the cage. It's an M50 cage for my EOS M, and I can use my 3 fingers just to get, you know, shots like this, unique shots, and it just works amazing. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to record this stream down here. It's quite noisy, as you can hear, and I'm going to use this technique. So yeah, the Canon M50 cage, you can see there's a gap just there, and I can insert my 3 fingers there and just carry it around, do some panning shots, tilts, whatever. It's fantastic. I'm glad there's actually a gap there. And this monitor has been working very, very well. A few complaints is just about maybe sun glares and reflections on the screen, but that's why you would obviously use a sun hood. This HDMI adapter, the right angled, with the other HDMI cables that stick out, you know, if you drop them, you can risk bending the wire, breaking it, cracking it. So having something strong and solid like this right angle adapter is fantastic. Man, this is really good. I'm gonna get some more shots now, and it's a beautiful day. I'm pretty much shooting everything at 11mm because this has a tight crop factor. And this screen is magnificent. And now I've zoomed it out to 22mm. Shooting f7. 5400K white balance, 2.4K. Now this is a lovely location. Good thing I got my CPL filter. I might get some low shots here. Took that down. Perfect. All right, I'm going to be shooting around f8. I might let some highlights blow out, and that's completely okay. We can't save everything, especially considering this isn't an RLXR. Shooting at 11mm, trying to capture this landscape. Alright, I'm zoomed to about 17mm, trying to keep it steady. And this monitor is so good. I can clarify my focus. And it's nice and stabilized, this lens. The 10 to 18 is also good. Nothing wrong with both of these options. And CPL filter is my recommendation. So overall, I think this monitor is a fantastic solution, you know, especially with this monitor mount that allows it to fully articulate around your camera. If your camera hasn't got a fully articulated screen, then this might prove to be a great solution. And, you know, if you want to record yourself out in these types of locations, put it on a tripod, flip the screen around, it just works as a great solution. Especially if you want to get those nice low angles on the go like this. It ain't a modern camera, it's a camera from 2012, and this provides a great solution for a fully articulated screen. So that's it guys, hope you enjoyed this video and how to build this whole thing, set it up. If you liked the video, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.